Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Easter special workshop. It is geared around Cookidoo, and we've had some changes in Cookidoo, and us, like you, we're getting our head around those changes so we can learn together. How about that? Hey, sounds good to me. Now, icebreaker, I would love you guys to pop in the chat what model you have, and if you have happened to. Hopefully, some of you have pre-ordered the TM7. We'd love to know because we'll
Well,
give
maybe
you,
let's pop that in the chat box.
yes, that would be terrific. Fantastic. And this is Jodie Hodgett, who's on our screen at the moment. Give us a wave, Jodie. Jodie's going to help me tonight. And we've also got Lexie Pitman on tonight. These are two of my team leaders in Believe Branch. And I'm very lucky to have them join me tonight. Just seeing who else is on. We've got any consultants? Nope, can't see any other team leaders. So what we will do is we will alternate manning the chat whilst one of us is, oh, hello, Mary, TM6, beautiful. Lots of TM6s. We do love our TM6. We're going to talk a little bit later about the key differences of the TM6 and the TM7. And yeah, we're basically here. This is for you. So we want to know what you want to learn, and we want to know what you want to have us present tonight. So we do run very much on a bespoke type workshop where we want interaction from you. You don't want to be hearing my voice for 45 minutes. We really want it to be interactive and fun. Okay. So, who's got all their Easter meals done and dusted and sorted? You're an addict. Well done, Michelle. That's awesome. Okay, so basically, we are recording this session because you're going to see a lot of recipes pop up, and you might then want to go back and watch it again and make note of certain recipes. It's a good idea if you perhaps got a pen and paper close by, or even if you're on your laptop and you've got a phone close by, just jot down some notes or jump on Cookidoo and save some of the things that we are suggesting onto your own Cookidoo collection. That would be fantastic. So what's the going consensus on the chat, ladies? Have we got mostly sixes?
Yeah, mostly sixes, I think.
Yeah.
A few addicts. We've got a Michelle who's a TM31, TM5, and TM6, and she's thinking about the TM7. Michelle, just do it. If you're all those, just I would just say do it.
You'll be
Um,
able to open your own little museum, Michelle.
Hi Heidi. Heidi's got a TM5.
Yes, she does.
Jenny, so you've got a few TM6s. So yeah, mostly TM6s, but
All
yeah.
right, fantastic. So I'm guessing our knowledge of Cookidoo is pretty good. How would you rate it? Just pop it in the chat. Would you say you're a beginner or you're pretty advanced or you've still got some things to learn? Because that will give us a guide of how far we need to dive into our overview, I guess, of Cookidoo.
How's everyone going with the new Cookidoo changes? Maybe we should ask that. Is everyone finding it a little bit different to navigate to how it was beforehand? That might be an interesting question. We're gonna go through anyway in our own Cookadoos tonight, so you better see how we kind of well, even I'm learning because it's quite new, the new platform.
Sure is.
Keen to learn, always keen to learn. Everyone's not too bad. So yeah, I think we'll have a bit of fun
Perfect.
tonight with yeah. So make sure you've got your device or yeah, like Tess said, maybe a notepad to write some recipe suggestions down.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Please hope it works because I'm new to Mac and I am a bit clunky and I'm learning my way around, but I'm getting there. All right, I am hoping. Oh, that didn't work. Here we go. I'm hoping you can see my cookie do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yay!
Yeah. I
Excellent.
know it comes up a little bit differently. Does everyone find that? You don't have just the full home screen. I do find this when you come up with the Cookadoo now.
Yeah, and it doesn't say hello, gorgeous
It comes
anymore.
up with your categories.
Oh, there we go. There's gorgeous.
Oh yes, you
Someone's,
are gorgeous.
someone's got to call me gorgeous. It's a bit tragic. Okay, so what was the going consensus in the chat? Most people sort of know a bit about Cookidoo.
They're not too bad, but they're open to learning a little bit more, Tess.
All right, and especially since it has changed quite significantly. And the reason it has changed is to enable access to this from your TM7. For those of you who may have ordered your TM7 already, it is a much larger screen. And therefore, there needed to be some changes done to Cookidoo. But essentially, all your recipes and your favorite recipes are in there. Some recipes have needed to be modified for the TM7, and we might discuss that a little bit later. But basically, this is the main bit you need to know. Your search. How do you find recipes? Okay, we've got popular categories, which is great. So if you want to look at snacks, baking, soups, drinks, you can navigate your way through there. But what I like to show is I'm sure we have all before used taste.com. Really great. You can key in a couple of key ingredients that are in your pantry. For example, you might have a can of tomatoes. You might have some rice and rice. And let's say you've got some tuna. You type in those three ingredients and hit search, and voila, we've got 14 recipes. Now, the reason there is the same recipe three times is because that recipe appears in three different cookbooks. So we don't worry about that. There's a tuna pasta bake. Yum. So you've got inspiration. So if you're on a bit of a challenge to clear out your pantry, which we all need to do at least once a year, you've got, you might end up having 10 cans of tomatoes because you keep buying them when they're on special and you don't use them and you want to use them up. So you key in your ingredients, and this is a really great way to save money and use what you already have. So just thought I'd share that little tip with you to begin with. And then, of course, you can filter it down even further from there. So it's sorted by relevance. If you want to sort it by best rated, you can just click on that relevance button there and hit best rated. Mr. Tomato Head, how cute are they? This tuna pasta bake is delicious, and so is the tuna pasta. So there you go. It's got the best rated recipes. Now, do you all know how to rate the recipes as you're cooking them? Because that's really important. It helps everyone, basically. So if we were to go into this recipe, the tuna bake, and I've had that before. Oh, there you go. I have rated it. I've given it 5 stars. So all you do is you hover over and you give the star rating that you believe and you hit submit. That's it. Okay. Very, very simple. So this is saying 537 ratings. Now I can guarantee you more than 537 people have made this dish. So it's a really good idea. It's really helpful for people. Like I know myself, I don't know about you girls, but I don't make anything that's sort of less than 3.5 stars. If you know people, and if there's been a fair few ratings of it, I tend to gravitate more towards the 4+. Does anyone else like that? No, you're going quiet on me.
Debbie's.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so that's how you use Cookidoo to search. Now, let's say, and I haven't done a meal plan this week, so let's say I wanted to make that tomorrow night. How I would do that, do we all like to meal plan? Pop that in the chat. Is we've got these three dots here. We hover over those and press and click on them, and then you go add to my week. So you can either add to a collection or add to your week, or if you know you're definitely going to buy it, you might even add it to your shopping list. But what I tend to do on a Sunday is I work out what I'm going to have for the week. And this week's just been a little bit chaotic. So I will pop in there the 17th. I want to make that tomorrow, and I hit save, which is really, really super easy. Then I go into my menu and I look at my week. And there we have today. We had pasta, but not that pasta in the end. I was going to make that, but I didn't have enough time, so I have made hot cross buns. Now, from the week, you can just imagine that this is all full, okay? that is what we're actually having tomorrow night and the next night. And I tried to buy zucchinis, but they were ludicrously expensive, so we won't be having that now. I couldn't get any zucchinis. So I'm just going to remove that and I'll think of something else to make on Saturday. Then Sunday comes around and I'll do my meal plan.
Tess, so you can actually sub your zucchini for something else.
Yeah, I could. I could. Put a potato, couldn't I? Yeah, or carrot. Yeah, I could. I could, but we just love the zucchini slice and we like it the way it's made.
Finishes. Why doesn't everyone pop their favorite recipe in the chat and give
Yes,
Tess some inspiration?
and absolutely that would be great. Give us all some inspiration. So basically, when I've got my whole week planned out, I then have a look at, and this is quite different. Where is my shopping list? I'll go back to the menu.
Tess is getting used to her Mac, everybody. So
I am
it's not
forgive me.
a Cookidoo issue. It's a getting used to a whole new.
It's a Tess issue. I didn't even introduce myself, did I? Goodness. I'm Tess Murray, and I am the senior team leader for the Believe branch. And I am blessed to work with an amazing collection of women. And I think we have got a man joining as well soon, which is really exciting, up at Donna's branch, Donna's team. So yeah, so I've got this is my past shopping list. So I will go into here and I will clear that. So I click on the three dots again and I go clear all because we always start the week with a clean shopping list, don't we? Now I'm going to go back to my week and this is where you would add in the things you need to buy. So, yep, I need to get that. Say I need to get that. And that has created my shopping list for the week. We'll pretend I've done it for the whole week. We go back to shopping list and there they are in order. And I would go through and tick off what I've already got. So I've got sugar, I've got coconut, I've got sugar. I need peanuts, got water, got most of these things. And then you're left with just what you need to buy. And this is a great way for saving money, which we all need to do at the moment with interest rates the way they are. When we get to the final, we're happy with our shopping list. Then we'd go order ingredients. And did you all know that you can order your ingredients direct with Woolies? It's a game changer. So you just click on Woolies and you can order it to be click and collect, or you can get it delivered, either or. So it creates sort of like a dummy Woolies shopping list cart and it tells you the total amount, which is handy. But if it picks brands that you don't like Cobram olive oil, that might not be your preferred, you can just go swap. And then when you're happy with your list, you just need to
Your cart down the bottom.
add it to your cart down here, and then it goes into the Woolworths cart and creates your shopping list, which is pretty cool. Any questions on that? We've got a quiet bunch tonight.
No, we've had a few really good suggestions with meals and things.
Great.
Michelle,
I'll have a look at those when I'm not presenting.
Zoodles, which it's one of my favorites too, Michelle. I love that one. We've got a few risottos, sweet and sour pork. So yeah, everyone.
Beautiful.
Carbonara for Jenny.
I love carbonara.
Carbonara.
That's such a good one when you've got nothing in the fridge, you haven't planned anything.
Jenny, do you make the real carbonara with the egg or one with the cream? Which do you like? Maybe pop that in the chat.
Awesome. And we've got little tutorials on Cookidoo as well that you might not be aware of. Since most of you have got TM6s, you're able to play these little videos. I won't play them now, but they're really cool. And then, our favorites. So they give you suggestions. The chocolate ice creams to die for. Geez, a real chocolate theme at the moment. Wonder why. And then you've got browse our latest collections, which is fantastic as well. You've got lunch boxes. This looks beautiful. Cafe style muffins at an absolute fraction of the cost. And then there's all different things, tutorials on mastering the modes, pastries, so much here to learn. Getting to know Cookidoo, Thermomix hints and tips. Go in and have a bit of a play when you're, sitting at the doctor's or waiting for your kids from school. You will be amazed at what is in there. That is a very basic overview of Cookidoo. We may, if there is demand, run a more advanced session where we go into the filters and really take a deep dive into finding recipes. So pop that in the chat if you would like a more advanced session. We can certainly arrange that. But I just want to give a quick overview for those of you who might be new to Cookidoo. Alison's saying yes, please. No problem. And right now I'm going to hand over to the gorgeous Jodie, and she's going to speak to us about breakfast for Easter. And she may throw in a few just general breakfast suggestions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a few more people coming in, which is great. I'm just going to pop on that. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys so I can show you my Cookidoo. On the Cookidoo page. So I don't know whether did you go through the collections test, how to create your own collections?
I didn't. No, you
Sorry.
could.
So in my collections, I actually do have my own created collection with breakfast, which I'm a big breakfast girl. Love my brekkies. I usually don't have breakfast till quite late. So it's more like brunch for me, but it's probably one of my biggest meals of the day that I have. So I'd love for you guys to pop in whether you've actually tried doing poached eggs in the Thermomix and how you've done your poached eggs, because that is something that does come up quite a lot when we get people inquiring about the Thermomix, whether it can do poached eggs or not. And there are a few different ways that you can do that. But one of my favorite ways is doing it with a blade cover. So if you haven't got the blade cover yet, that is something that is really awesome to actually add to your collection with your accessories, because it does a really awesome poached egg in there. I love a fritter. Something you can have on Easter Day as well, because it has no meat in it. My favorite is a corn and coriander fritters, which you can actually vary. We're talking about varying or subbing things before when Tess was talking about her zucchini slice. Definitely, I would probably just use spinach if I didn't have any zucchini and spinach was cheap. I'm a big subber. I'm a big person who is very much a seasonal cook. So whatever's in season, I'm happy to sub out as long as it's very similar to what is in the recipe. But I'm quite a confident cook, and I was before I had my Thermomix. But if you're not a confident cook and you really love to follow a recipe, definitely follow those filters that Tess was showing you through. Go through the filter system and actually find things that you can use specific ingredients with and really stick to a recipe. But I'm a bit of a wing it girl. So some people who don't wing it, they watch me cooking and they're like, I can't watch, but that's okay. So this is one of my favorite ones. You can really sub a lot of stuff into this. So corn and coriander fritters, you can actually not have corn in it and put in like grated carrot. You can sub some people hate coriander, so you can put parsley in instead. And instead of having your kale, which is quite a harsh sort of a veggie, I guess, kind of a hard sort of a spinach, you can put your softer spinach in, or you can put a zucchini base or all those kind of things. But it's really great to use as a base for your recipes. So there's one idea on how to use your brekkie recipes. I actually do have a collection that is just for Easter as well. So let me bring up my little Easter one that I did make for you guys. Well,
I'm not seeing your Cookidoo at the moment, Jodes.
I'm so sorry. Gosh, you guys should have spoken up way earlier than that.
Sorry, I thought it was just me being clunky.
Maybe I'm not able to share. Am I not able to share, Tess?
You should be able to. I made you a co-host.
Let me just double check back into the Zoom thing. I'm so sorry, guys. I've been waffling on for hours and you're probably thinking, what is she talking about?
No.
Stop share. Let me go back in. What was coming up? Was it
a blank black screen?
Okay. Sorry. Here we are. Can you see that?
Yay!
Yay. So sorry. You guys are like, what is she waffling on about?
Oh, look, I thought it was me, and then thankfully somebody said in the chat, and I went, okay, it's not just me.
You guys are far too quiet tonight, by the way.
I know.
You guys need to go and get yourself a wine and start shouting at the screen. We're more used to that. But yeah, definitely I've just built a couple of things in here for tonight, but I don't have any pre-made breakfast dishes for you, but I do have a frittata that I made earlier. And that is something that you could definitely have for a brunchy kind of an option, maybe a Good Friday sort of one. This one here, it is, it's delicious. And again, something you can really sub your ingredients with. So a frittata is something you can really easily pop different veggies in, just depending on like what they are. So this one is definitely meant to be made with a variety of pumpkin, sweet potato, and potato through it. But I just had a heap of sweet potato that needed using up. So it's just got sweet potato, spinach, eggs, and some shallots through it. So and some cheese and eggs. So definitely that's a really good breakfast option that you could just reheat as well and just have it for a quick brekkie as well. But yeah, breakfast is one of my favorite things. Maybe pop in the chat box what your favorite breakfast item is to make with Cookidoo.
Awesome. Thank you, Jodie.
No worries.
We'll hand over to Lexie now and we'll move on to lunch.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's nice to see everyone online tonight. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Easter lunch. So I guess depending on your traditions, Easter lunch can look a little bit different for everyone. For me, I know it's Good Friday is usually about the seafood, but Easter Sunday is all about the seafood for me too. Or a really lovely roast lamb with lots of delicious sides. So I love a little bit of inspiration. We're not huge on Easter in our family. So if you want to give me a little bit of inspiration, pop in the chat your favourite lunch recipes for Easter. But I have created a little bit of a collection on Cookidoo. So I'll share my screen. Can everyone see that?
No, it's black. There we go.
See Cookidoo?
It's a delay.
There we go. Might have just taken a minute. Yeah. All right. So I've created a little bit of an Easter collection, and the way that I did it, as I said, we're not massively traditional in our household on Easter. So I just searched Easter in the search bar, and it brought back all these wonderful recipes for me. So I went through and added things that looked appealing to me to my collection. So if I just go to my recipes.
Oh, that's salmon.
You can see I've got a whole lot of, I'm like Jodie. Huh? Sorry,
I
Tess.
just said that planked salmon is divine.
Oh, my favorite.
We might give that a go this year. I'm like Jodie, I love breakfast, so I've got a breakfast collection. I've got lots and lots of collections, but here's my Easter. Now, I know Jodie was talking about breakfast, but this is our, I guess, special occasion, special treat breakfast, which is the bacon and cinnamon scrolls with salted maple glaze. So if you haven't given them a go, I strongly recommend you do because it's bacon and maple and scrolls. Delicious. They're our Christmas breakfast. Yeah, they're a once a year treat for us. But you can see I've added a whole lot to my collection. So as I said, Christmas for us is really about roast lamb. So I've got a beautiful roast lamb in here with some sides. So maybe some steamed greens with lemon feta would go really nicely with that lamb. I've also got a beautiful Middle Eastern salmon with tahini and yogurt. That looks like a nice light lunch. I mean, Easter's all about the chocolate, right? So by the time you get to lunch, you're probably feeling a little bit sick. So here's a lovely, nice light lunch for everybody. Have we got any suggestions in the chat, ladies?
I'm just popping up a few of the recipes that we've got coming up so people can grab them.
Thank you, Jodie.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I
thought
tend to not have a big lunch either. We will have hot cross buns or something for breakfast, and then, chocolate Easter eggs for lunch, and then have a bigger dinner.
Breakfast.
Yeah, before breakfast, chocolate Easter eggs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then going to after dinner, just because I'm a little bit sidetracked, the hot cross buns make a delicious bread and butter pudding. So you can make your bread and butter pudding and just sub out your normal bread for some hot cross buns, and that is delicious. Just in case you haven't had enough hot cross buns for breakfast. I thought these were super cute. So for anyone who's got kids, I've got a 5-year-old. I think he's going to love these. So egg salad in crispy Easter nests. They look like a little bit of fun.
Oh, I did see those. I know. I want to try those. They look awesome.
I saw them in your collection too. Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's why I popped them there because I'm going to try them. I'm just popping up. We actually had a little survey with head office, I think it was. They were doing what the best hot cross bun was. They came up with the brioche hot cross bun. So I'm just popping that one in.
They are
Um,
Mm.
beautiful.
there's plenty in there. So if you just pop it into your search bar, hot cross buns, they'll all come up. But this one was a favorite with head office.
Mmm. Yummo.
Delicious.
Are you done, Lexi?
I think that's probably me, Funches.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Now we're going to move into dinners. Back with Jodie again.
Okay, awesome. Well, I was actually going to do the salmon as well because the Eastern Plank salmon is something that's really that was something that I would do definitely in my little collection as well. I when I first started out my Thermomix journey, I was very much a Quirky Joe fan. And I remember going to help her out with probably her second class ever that I helped her out with here at Yarra Valley Grammar. And she had Fuad with her, who she was partnering with at the time. And he did that Eastern plank salmon with the yogurt sauce and everything. Absolutely delicious. So I definitely recommend trying something like that. But again, with your search bar, definitely try typing in fish. Of any type. We used to do a really great fish in a demo. That was the remember that where we had the topping on top of the fish, girls, and we used to
Was it
steam.
the Asian fish parcels or something?
Yes, absolutely. But if you just type in fish, look how many options that you have that actually come up.
Oh,
So
that beer batter fish is amazing.
oh, absolutely awesome. But I was going to show you this one, which is one of my absolutely favorite recipes. And I've converted this one as well to my created recipes. So if you haven't used created recipes and you're a little bit worried about doing that with your Cookidoo, it's quite easy to do. But what I did with this one, which is a fragrant coconut fish soup, with sweet potato is I subbed the sweet potato because I didn't have any at the time for pumpkin. And I added a bit of extra this and a bit of extra that. And I thought, I'm never going to remember how I did this because when I served up to the family, as we probably get all the time, this is amazing, Mum. What did you put in it? And you're like, oh, I can't remember. But if you do actually remember or write it down as you go, or actually do that recipe adaptation as you go in your Cookidoo, it will save into your created recipes for you. So you can save your Cookidoo recipes and actually alter them as well. Again, there are tutorials as well in your profile there. You can go into your profile. Some of the platforms, either it's tutorials, some of them are the help button. So go in there and you can find little videos on how to do that. But this is an absolutely delicious recipe. So if you like a bit of a lighter lunch, I know that Lexie was doing the lunches, we're taking over each other's things, or a lighter dinner if you've had a lunch, for example, this one is a really great one. So definitely I would recommend trying this one. It's got a lot of ingredients in it, but well worth a big wow factor, that one.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that, and I know you rave about it because you've mentioned it before, and I must get that on my list.
Rave about it. One of my absolute favorite soups of all time. That and the seafood chowder is a must try as well. So that's another good one that you could try too. But both of them are quite hearty, so they're an actual meal.
Yep.
You may serve them with a roll or a bit of roti bread or something like that would be all you would need to do with that one. The other one that I was thinking was the Chinese style fish that we used to do in the demo, which had the beautiful topping on it, but I'm probably not going to be able to find it now in a pinch because I didn't save it.
Was it called Asian fish
Yeah,
parcels or
but
something?
sorry. Yeah,
Oh, go back. It was there. There it is. Fragrant Asian fish parcels. Was
fish
that it?
puffs. That's very similar to what it used
Oh.
to be. So it had like the Asian topping on it, and we steamed it in the Varoma. So yeah, I actually have done this one as well too. So yeah, who uses their Varoma? Maybe pop that in your chat box too.
Mm.
Varoma. And able to be able to make your dishes quite large for a larger setting as well, especially with things like Easter or something that's a bit more seasonal. It's a great thing to do. But that's my little tip for you. Try that soup, or you just type fish into your explore button and away you go.
There we go. Michelle has said not as much as I should. Perhaps we need to do a Varoma class.
Yeah, I think so. I think Verona, well, back in the day, I've been around for like 9.5 years with Thermomix. We used to actually, when we did our first initial demonstration with our customers, we booked them in for their Verona demonstration. And I think that should be a thing. I think because I hear from so many of my customers, I don't use my Varoma. It just stays in the
Mhm.
takes up space. But yeah, it's definitely
Yeah, we've got some fantastic recipes that utilize the Varoma for our demonstrations, and Jodie's going to talk a bit more about that shortly. All right, now we're moving on to just general Easter treats that can be breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or anything in between. And over to you, Lexie.
Oh, before I talk about Easter treats, I thought I'd just quickly share my absolute favorite Varoma recipe.
Yeah.
Um, so I just going to share my screen. I really dislike salmon, but I know it's good for me. So I try to eat it, and when I try and eat salmon, I try and disguise it with lots of kind of Southeast Asian flavors because it takes away some of that salmon. So Thai fish cakes, for example, are my favorite. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, salmon with ginger sauce and spiced
Yeah.
peppers. Yep.
So this is my favorite Varoma recipe, which given that it's salmon and I don't like salmon, it's my favorite Varoma.
Mm.
Give this one a go. It's worth it just to have those spiced cashews. It is delicious.
And it's only half an hour.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Love
really
that.
easy. And it was a massive hit in our household, so we make that one quite regularly. But Easter treats. So
Hmm.
I thought I'd quickly share some of the Easter treats that I've made. So I've actually used the decadent dark chocolate brownie recipe. Now, can everyone still see me?
I might, yeah, do you want to stop your share screen and
I'm
that way
sharing.
I'll
Yeah. So
spotlight you?
I've used the decadent dark chocolate brownie recipe, which is super delicious, and actually used my beautiful little rose gold mini baking muffin tin.
There's one missing, Lexi.
Is there? How did that happen?
Who had it?
I could blame Elijah, but he's at my mum's, so I can't. It was
Oh,
me.
I blame
And then
Mum.
I just got some little M&Ms, so speckled egg M&Ms, um, these ones here, and I'm going to decorate them all. So I waited till they'd cooled down. I would recommend maybe doing it when they're just full, so they're still soft, because mine are kind of falling out a little bit. So I'm going to have to put a little bit of icing on here, I think. But I used my cupcake pen to get them into the tray just so it was nice and neat. And because I wanted them all nice and perfect, I also popped the tray on the top of my Thermomix and used the scales to weigh in so that they're all the exact same size.
Oh, wow, that's very,
Mm.
very
There's a
open
little trick for
of
you.
you.
If you want them to come out perfect like that, normally I don't really care, but I thought
Yeah.
I'd give that a go. So let me share my screen again. So Easter is obviously all about the chocolates and the treats. I would love to know what people do with their leftover Easter eggs, if there's any recipes. So we always buy way too many the Easter bunny, sorry, always brings way too many Easter eggs. And so we have lots of leftovers. So give me your favorite recipe to use up your Easter eggs. Mine is making hot chocolate, breaking up the Easter eggs and making
Hot
hot
chocolate's
chocolate.
good. We make chocolate custard. That's really good too.
Yum.
I
Love
don't know about
chocolate custard.
Easter eggs. We don't usually have any leftover Easter eggs. That's just not a thing in my house. But
That's because you have 7 children, Jodie.
hot cross buns, because we eat hot cross buns for like 3 months of the year. And there's a really great I'll pop it in the chat, a leftover Easter hot cross bun recipe that's a mocha chocolate one.
Mm.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jodie was talking about personalizing your recipes and changing things up. So I quite often tweak recipes. I think they're usually pretty perfect as they are, but sometimes I like to tweak things. We like really strong flavors, so we might add a little bit more herbs or something like that. My problem is that I go to make it again and I can't remember what I did to tweak it. And there's actually a new feature in Cookidoo that was released with part of this new look, which is my notes. So you can actually add notes to recipes now. So you can go in and you could say, cook in rose gold mini
I
cupcake.
love this. This has come back. It's
Yeah.
my jam.
So good.
Yeah, so you can pop in there. So I did my little brownies in the rose gold baking tray. So you obviously don't need to cook it for as long as when you're cooking in a big slab. So I can just add my little notes.
Mm.
Really handy if you like to tweak recipes, and if you're like me and have memory like a sieve,
Yeah,
you can do that.
I'm a big tweaker.
But some Easter treats. What have we got? So Easter. Obviously, these aren't specific to Easter. I've spoken about my bacon and cinnamon scrolls, but they're so good, I'll mention them again. These little mini egg cupcakes are super cute. So you could use the M&Ms that I've got. Similar, you've got these little meringue Easter nests with the little eggs in them, which are cute.
They are cute.
We were talking about these the other day, lemon curd Easter biscuits. I actually make these as gifts to give to my mum's group. And to family. So they're really yummy and pretty easy. We mentioned the brioche hot cross buns. We've got some beautiful Italian Easter bread. We were lucky enough to try Helen's Greek Easter bread recently. So we could probably search on that, and that was beautiful.
Turret.
Just searched on Easter bread. So here it is. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. Soreki. Greek Easter bread. So this one's
That was delicious.
I'll pop that in the
yeah, really, really beautiful. It's like a nice brioche bread with some spices in it. So I highly recommend giving that one a go. Or you could just, there was that chocolate collection down here. So you could have a look and do something chocolatey. Triple chocolate layer cake looks pretty good to me.
That sounds
Um, or you could just set chocolate. It's been a long day and I've just forgotten how to spell chocolate.
I've just
And it will bring up everything chocolate. So here's my hot chocolate that I use with the leftover Easter eggs. Does everyone know about their filters and to remove the Australia filter? I'll quickly show everyone. So there's obviously Thermomix isn't just in Australia, it's all over the world. So you can go into your filters and actually remove, you can choose countries or regions. So sometimes it does default to this Australia. Remove your region and just switch it to English. If you do speak other languages, you could add in Greek, whatever it is you speak, and it will bring up all the English and Greek recipes for you. So it does, oh, I don't want to default to Greek. That won't work well for me. It just broadens that search for you. The really cool thing about using Cookidoo is if it is a US recipe and it's using ounces and whatever else it is, the Thermomix will actually switch over while you're cooking into the ounces for you, so you don't have to try and convert it in your head. So
Yeah,
that's my
pretty
couple of little
handy.
tricks for Cookidoo.
So Lexi, since you've got Cookidoo up and to save me being
Yep.
clunky and getting it up myself, I'm just going to share a couple of my favorites. So if you can type in
Yep.
the filter, sorry, in the search field,
Yep.
hazelnut, chocolate brioche.
Yes, that's a good one.
This is to die
Yes.
for, and it looks so pretty and it looks complicated, and it's really not.
It's not.
Look how pretty that looks. I highly
Mm.
recommend that. If you want a little bit of a project to make on Saturday for Sunday morning's breakfast, it evaporates like that in my house when I make it. It is very, very popular. And you can make the Nutella yourself, of course, too.
You can.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can.
Yeah. Yep. Same as peanut butter, those pantry staples that we can make are unbelievable. If you can put in hot cross buns now, please, Lexi. Now you can make hot cross buns or you can make a hot cross bun loaf. And I think you were there with me, Lexi, weren't you? We were at the Whittlesea market. Were you there with me that day?
Mhm.
I had made
Yep.
this And we weren't giving out food or samples or anything like that at this particular market. We had no power. So I made this and I just had it on display. And this man randomly came up to me and he said, I want to buy that. And I said, well, it's my display. You can't have it. You know? And he said, how much do you want for it? And I said, no, come back later and you can buy it then. And he came back and he just said, I'll give you $20 for it. And I went, you're on. I was meant to bring it home for my family, but it had been sitting out in the air all day. And I thought, oh, well, he wants it for $20, you can have it. So, yeah, I didn't have time to make that one tonight because it obviously takes a lot longer to bake. But if you go back to the normal hot cross bun recipe for me, please, Lexie. And which one did I make? Oh, my goodness. Just the first one, I think, hot cross buns.
Yep, this is my standard recipe.
Yeah, really, really super easy. One thing I did forget to do tonight was I didn't put any bread improver in them. So they'll have to get eaten tomorrow, basically. But if you put a bit of bread improver in them, it just makes them last a little bit longer and makes them fresher and lighter as well. So if someone can spotlight me, I will show you my hot cross buns. I haven't had time to ice them as yet, but there they are. Can you see them?
Yep.
Struggling to focus, isn't it? I don't want to drop them everywhere.
There
There
we
we
go. It's probably better.
Oh, I've got my screen blurred. That's why it's been funny. I can fix that. There we go. So this is my hot cross buns. All I need to do now is glaze them to just make them shiny. And that's what everyone will be having for breakfast tomorrow. All right. Now
I have a really hot tip. I've got a really hot tip that I'll just really quickly share around storing bread. So obviously when you make your own bread in the Thermomix, it doesn't have any preservatives in it. It's always super soft when it comes out, but then you kind of need to put it in the freezer because it does go, it doesn't last as long as that the bread you get from the supermarket. Now this is going to sound insane, but I have tested this. In your bread tin, just pop a couple of sticks of celery and your bread will stay super soft. I promise you.
wow, I haven't heard that one before.
I always forget that one. I have heard that before, but I always forget it. Thank you, Lexie.
It works. So apparently the bread draws the moisture out of the celery, and you don't get a celery taste in your bread or anything like that. But I promise you, give it a go. It sounds
Yeah.
insane, and then you can just throw the celery into a green smoothie or something, so you're not wasting it, or into your stock paste.
There you go.
Love that. No waste.
Everyday surprises.
I love that. All right. Jodie is now going to talk to us a little bit about hosting a demonstration and what host rewards we have on offer at the moment. So I'm going to share my screen and bring up the host reward catalogue.
Awesome. Host rewards are my jam. I've just had 2 demos in a row over the last couple of days, and both of my hosts have walked away with some really awesome one absolutely just wanted a thermo server. She was an old TM5 consultant of mine. She was adamant that she wanted to host so she'd get a thermo server with her new TM6, which was amazing. So there's something you actually cannot buy through the mix shop. And something you just really need to have with a Thermomix. If you're going to do your risottos, you need to keep your food hot and cold in between transition, they're perfect for that particular task. You've got your Thermomix cutter on now, which if you haven't got one of those, they are amazing. So they're going to be able to do your slicing and your grating. You're also going to need a cutter to be able to fit your spiralizer lid in. So if you're looking at doing zoodles and doing your spiralized chips and things like that, you will need the cutter base for that because the spiralizer is just the lid that inserts into the cutter. The silver oval one is fantastic for events like Easter or Christmas for presenting things like your planked salmon. So when you're doing those whole fish dishes or things that they're also really awesome for just heated up hot dogs.
Yeah, I was going to say sausages too, straight off the barbecue because they
barbie or icy poles in summertime. Because don't forget your thermoservers are going to keep them cold for up to 2 hours or hot for up to 2 hours. So you've got those two options there. You've got your glider board, which comes in the white, which is the heavy duty resin. I have got the black underneath mine at the moment, but the white one is amazing. It's a little bit heavier and you need that, especially if you've got mobility issues or your Thermomix is stuck in the corner. Never put baby in the corner, but sometimes you have to pull it out with the glide board. And our bake tins are incredible. They are a really heavy duty quality. They're like the Mackie tins, and you can just slide your bread out. Don't need to grease these things or oil them or flour them. They just are fantastic. They get a really good result. You've got the lid which slides on, so it gives you that square loaf. If you haven't got a bread tin and you're a bread baker, you need one of those in your life. And you also need the bake mat as well. So the proofing mat for your bread, which is really, really awesome. So that's your hosting board. So to host, the requirement is that you need 2 guests from separate households and yourself. That's it. Just 2 plus you. And you can get those awesome gifts there as well. And we do have, from time to time, we have different specials on with the host rewards. So keep an eye out. If you've got a consultant which sends you out some little emails and things like that, make sure that she's keeping you up to date with your host rewards as well, so that you can know when things are on.
Absolutely. And, the hints and tips that you learn at different demos are just invaluable. You've got a consultant, please use them. And if you don't have a consultant, please reach out to one of us or jump on the Thermomix website and say that you'd like to host a demonstration, and one will be assigned to you, which is very handy. Having a consultant, we really pride ourselves on post-sale customer care. That is something we are super proud of ourselves with. And we love helping people. That's the one thing that is really in common with consultants, is we all love to help our customers. And we know if we're helping them post-sale, we know that they're loving their Thermomix machine and they're referring their friends and family to us as well, which is really wonderful. And at the moment, when you refer someone, if they purchase, you can get a $100 Mix Shop voucher, which is pretty spectacular as well. Now, I'm just going to very quickly talk a little bit about recruitment. I'm not going to take up much of your time, but if any of you are interested in any way about finding out more about joining the business, stay on. At the end of this session, we will do a business information session, which will take around about 15 minutes. So if you are curious, please do stay on, and we will go through that with you. Now, so at the moment, we have got some incredible recruitment offers. If you were to join as a consultant and you didn't have a TM6, you could actually loan one from us for free. Your business kit's free. It's no cost to you in any way, shape, or form. And if you sell 3 Thermomixes in your 60 days, you get to keep your TM6. That is an incredible deal. We have never offered that before. It's just called a loan. And if at the end of you selling your 3, you only sell 1 and you decide this is not for me, I'm really not that cut out for it, that's okay. At any point in time, you can walk away from it, and you can either be billed the remaining balance on your TM6 or you can return it. No questions asked, just return it. Okay, it's a pretty good deal. So if anyone is interested in upgrading from a previous model to a TM6, stay on after this, and you can find out a bit more. The other recruitment offer we've got on the moment is, of course, to earn our beautiful new sexy black TM7, which Jodie's going to talk a little bit about in a minute. So if you have a TM6, you can just join and use that TM6. You don't have to get another one. And you can start earning commission straight away and earning points towards getting that TM7 for free. So how that works is you would need to sell 6 by the end of June, and you will have earned a TM7. Of course, you can pay the difference as well. If you sell 4 instead of 6, you could just pay the difference. So there's some very exciting recruitment offers on at the moment. We've just, been taken over by Vorwerk. Vorwerk are very serious about making Australia a very profitable and very great business proposition. And they are investing in us to make it really, really fantastic. So we in order for us to reach the sort of goals that we want, we need more recruits. We've only got 5% penetration here in Australia. 5% of households have a Thermomix. And you guys are all raving fans, I can tell by the chatter in the chat box. And you've got family and friends, you know people who need a Thermomix. They don't maybe know they need a Thermomix, but that is our mission as Thermomix consultants, is to get a Thermomix on the bench of everybody in Australia, because we know that that will help them in so many ways. So if you're a little bit curious, a little bit interested, please stay on after this session. All right, I'm going to hand over to Jodie now. She's going to briefly tell you the key differences between the TM6 and the TM7. Is there anyone here who's thinking about the TM7? That would be good. Pop it in the chat. Over to you, Jodes.
Awesome. Just give me 1 second. I've just realized I've got the wrong thing up on the background here. The fact sheet. I think that was what I was after. No, not after that one. I was after the comparison. Oh, here we go. No, it's not coming up. That's okay. If anyone can find the comparison sheet for me,
that's all right. Just talk to it, Jodes, for now.
I did actually want to show you guys my Cookidoo. So I am surrounded here. I'm in Chirnside Park in Victoria, if anyone knows where that is. We are surrounded by Greeks. We are surrounded by Italians. So it's a very heavy wog area. No, I shouldn't say that. You're not wogs. I'm a wog because I'm Aussie. But these are Cookidoo. So they are your crescent moon biscuits, which I make my beautiful Greek neighbor who is over the back fence. They help me out so much. They're amazing. They're just like family to me. But Margarita used to always make me these handmade, and now I make them in my Thermomix for her, and I take them over to her because they're the traditional Greek Easter biscuits. So these are the things that you can do with your Thermomix, is these incredible kind of little Easter treats that so if you haven't tried a Cookidoo, they're amazing. They've got almonds, they've got brandy in them, they've got butter. They're like a little melting moment with like little flaky nuts in them. So they're amazing. So the comparison with the TM7 and the TM6 is you're going to see a big difference with the technology with the new machine coming in. I'm going to show you a little hero shot, and I'll talk to that when I get that up. Look at that. So sexy. Right? A lot of people are saying, oh, I don't like the black, I'd rather it in white. The reason it's in black is because it's made from recycled plastics there. So it's very hard to get recycled plastics to go white. So they have chosen the black color for kitchens, but also black is also becoming very on trend in our new kitchens moving forward. So a lot of people actually prefer the black color going forward. You can see it has an amazing big screen on it. So that screen is like a small iPad really in the front of it. Yeah, 10 inches. And it's got that base, actually, the whole shell comes off. So the whole base comes off. So you just have, the whole top comes off. So you just have the base there to be able to maybe perhaps put extra accessories on in the future. That's to come with this thing. Yeah, it's has lots of potential in there. So it's got a little clip. You see the little clip on the side there? That clip actually locks your blade in. It doesn't lock the bowl in. So a lot of people have questioned that, like, oh, why could we not have the friend and we can have this and all the rest? Once it gets over speed 2, it has an internal locking mechanism. So it's a magnetic locking system that actually works internally. So that will lock it down onto the bowl, and it actually gives it the ability to be able to have open lid cooking as well. So a few differences between that and the TM6 at the moment. The TM6, obviously, we can't do any open lid cooking. We don't have the capacity to put extra things on there. So yeah, it's a very, very exciting time for us to have this brand new machine coming in, and we are also learning about it as we go, and we don't get ours till May, when we're able to share with you a little video on how that works within the demo. So I would encourage you guys who might be interested in, or you may be hanging out to wait to see the TM7, book in your demonstrations now, because your consultants are about to get super busy with action coming on. So if you're wanting to see it, I would book in to have a TM6 demonstration where we are able to actually showcase a video of the TM7 within that demonstration as well. So that would be my recommendation.
Thank you, Jodie. I'll just add one other thing with the the high heat function of the TM7. You're actually able to instigate high heat without having to use a recipe. There is a mode for it. So that is a key difference too between the TM6 and the TM7. The blades are the same. So the blades for the 7 fit in the 6 and vice versa, which is really, really handy. The blade cover peeler also fits in there. Unfortunately, at the moment, there is no extras that come with the TM7. So it's on pre-order at the moment for $2,649. So it's $70 more than the TM6. And but the TM6 you don't have to wait for it. You get it right now. And you also are getting this best ever bundle. It is
Our best ever bundle. I think if you haven't got a TM6, so I know we have a lot of TM6 owners on tonight, but if you don't have a TM6 yet and you're one of those customers, this is an incredible offer with all of your accessories that you get. You don't need anything else to start you up. You've literally got the whole kit and caboodle there. You've got your glider board, you've got your extra 12 months Cookidoo, a Thermomix cutter, extra bowl blade lid, blade cover peeler, spiralizer. That's over $1,000 worth of value. So if you're after a bargain,
this is it.
TM6 bonus bundle. If you are after the latest gadget, wait for the amazing TM7, which you can get at the moment on pre-order, or you can wait for your consultant to actually show you that within a demonstration. But make sure you book in a cooking experience if you are wanting to see it, because they are going to get super busy. And if you're about joining the business, like Tess was talking about before, best decision I ever made in my life, I have to say. But definitely it's a great time. It's a very, very exciting time to come on board with Thermomix.
Thanks, Jodie. Fantastic. All right, that is a wrap. Hopefully, we've inspired you and you've added a few things to your collections and your meal plan for the week. Where's Lexie gone? Can we spotlight her?
Let me find Lexie. Here we go. Here we go.
Thank you very much, ladies, for supporting me tonight. It's always great to have some different voices and different perspectives join in and present. And thank you, everyone, for coming. It's been our pleasure to bring you some of our favourite Easter treats that we love to sharing. Remember to stay on if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the business. We've got a quick video to show you, goes for 12 minutes, and then you can go away and think about your decision about whether or not you'd like to join. So thank you all very much. I hope the Easter Bunny comes to you and spoils you with lots of chocolate.
Absolutely. Enjoy some of those recipes that we shared with you tonight.
Definitely. Thank you all.
Good night, everyone.